The mysterious man in dreams. Is he real, or just a figment of our imagination? And if he's only imaginary, why have so many people seen him in their dreams? Does this face look familiar to you? Have you ever seen it or dreamed of it before? Whether you have or haven't, stay with me, because what you're about to hear is a chilling story. A story that has sent shivers down countless spines. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon, so you never miss a new story. And let's try to hit 1,000 likes before the next video drops. In 2006, during a regular therapy session, a patient of a well-known psychiatrist drew the face of a rugged-looking man. She claimed that this man kept appearing in her dreams. He would often give her advice about her personal life. She swore she had never met him in real life, had no idea who he was. And yet, he was there, again and again, her subconscious world. So far, nothing out of the ordinary, just a woman dreaming of a stranger, not exactly unheard of. Even the psychiatrist didn't pay much attention. He had heard plenty of odd stories from patients about dreams and visions. He set the sketch aside and forgot about it. The drawing stayed buried in the papers on his desk. But then a few days later, something eerie happened. Another patient came in. As the psychiatrist flipped through his papers, the man suddenly screamed, "That's him." Confused, the psychiatrist asked, "Who do you mean?" The patient pointed at the sketch. "That man. I've seen him in my dreams." "Do you know him?" the doctor asked. "No," the patient replied, "but he comes to me in my sleep, often, and he gives me advice about my life." The psychiatrist froze. How could two patients who didn't know each other dream about the exact same unknown man? Disturbed and intrigued, the psychiatrist sent copies of the sketch to several colleagues around the world. He explained what had happened and asked them to show the image to their own patients, just in case. What happened next shocked everyone. Over the next few months, several therapists contacted him, saying that multiple patients had recognized the man in the drawing. They claimed he had appeared in their dreams too. And just like that, the legend of this man began. People around the globe started calling him this man, because that's exactly what they would say when shown his image. "That's the man from my dream." Since 2006, over 2,000 people worldwide have reported seeing the same man in their dreams. From Los Angeles to Berlin, Sao Paulo to Tehran, Beijing to Rome, Barcelona, Stockholm, Paris, Delhi, Moscow. These are some of the dreams we collected from people around the world.
I have had this recurrent dream for some years now. A tall, dark man shows me a picture and asks me if I can recognize my father in it. The man in the picture is this man I have never seen before. He looks nothing like my dad. Nevertheless, I inexplicably answer that I do recognize my father. At this point, I usually wake up feeling very peaceful. Other times the dream continues. I am standing before my father's grave. I place some flowers on the ground, and I realize the photograph on the tombstone is missing.
I fell in love with him from the very first time I saw him in my dream, even though if I think about it, I must admit he's really ugly. And yet each and every time, he sweeps me off my feet with his romantic gestures and sweet words. He buys me flowers, jewelry. He takes me out to dinner or to the beach to watch the sunset.
I have always had this dream of flying in the sky over my city and observing my friends from up there. Since I moved to another house, I started meeting this man while flying. Not every single time that I have this dream about flying, but often enough. He flies too, but he never speaks.
The first time I had a dream about this man, I was having a hard time at work. I had a dream about getting lost in a huge and deserted shopping mall. Suddenly, this man appeared and I started running away from him. He chased after me for what seemed like an hour until I found myself against a wall in the kids area in a supermarket. At this point, he smiled at me and he showed me the way out towards the cash desks, and I woke up. Ever since that night, this man has appeared in all of my dreams, and he always gives me directions to get out of the dream and wake up.
I saw this man in my dream, dressed as Santa Claus. When he showed up, I felt so happy, just like when I was a little girl. Then he smiled at me, and his head became a balloon, floating in the air above me. But no matter how hard I tried to catch it, I just couldn't reach it.
I dreamt of this man when I was in the 10th grade. He hasn't been in any recurring dreams, just one very memorable and terrifying dream. In my dream, was stuck in a room sitting on a stool. A few feet away from me there was a television set. I was visited by two men I had never seen before, not this man, and they both attacked me. I woke up covered in sweat and tears, and I was screaming. I somehow fell asleep, then I found myself back in the room. I started screaming and crying. Then this man showed up on the screen. I begged him to not harm me. He didn't change his blank expression or speak. He slit my throat, and I woke up. I suppose he let me out of the nightmare, but I couldn't stop thinking about him for weeks. I still have some of the sketches I drew of him. I know it's kind of weird.
I have seen this man in 3 completely different dreams. He was slightly different from the picture, but I recognized him immediately. He appeared suddenly and disappeared in the same manner. His message in all 3 of my dreams was, "It's all over." That was repeated 3 times in each dreams. The differences in the picture and the man in my dreams are, his hair was a little longer in the top. His eyebrows were not as bushy. Other than that, he is identical. I had no fear of him, but many questions.
People from completely different countries, cultures, and languages all claim to have seen the same face, and none of them know who he is. Not a single person has identified him in the waking world. So who is this man? Several theories have been developed to explain the mysteriously recurring presence of this man in the dreams of different people who are not related in any way. The following theories are the ones that elicit the greatest interest among the dreamers themselves. Archetype theory. According to Jung's psychoanalytic theory, this man is an archetypal image belonging to the collective unconscious that can surface in times of hardship, emotional development, dramatic changes in our lives, stressful circumstances, etc. In particularly sensitive subjects. Dream surfer theory. It is the most interesting theory and the one that has the greatest implications, but it has also the lowest scientific credibility. According to this theory, this man is a real person who can enter people's dreams by means of specific psychological skills. Some believe that in real life this man looks like the man in the dreams. Others think that the man in the dreams looks completely different from his real-life counterpart. Some people seem to believe that behind this man there is a mental conditioning plan developed by a major corporation. Dream imitation theory. This is a scientific psychosociological theory which claims that this phenomenon has arisen casually and has progressively developed by imitation. Basically, when people are exposed to this phenomenon, they become so deeply impressed that they start seeing this man in their dreams. Daytime recognition theory. This theory states that the apparitions of this man are purely casual. Normally, we do not remember precisely the faces we see in our dreams. The image of this man would thus be an instrument which, in the subject's waking life, facilitates recognition of an undefined onirical image. So what do you think, dear viewer? Is he real? Is he just a shared psychological phenomenon, passed from mind to mind like a modern myth? Or, have you seen him before? Have you met this man in your dreams? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you have a strange story you'd like me to cover, leave it down below. Like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next mystery. Share this video with anyone who loves eerie stories and unsettling theories. See you next time, with a tale even more chilling than this one.